Welcome to a very belated 2024 recap and 2025 goals video. It is now February 20th, and I have been struggling. I got laid off of my career job 1 year and 1 month ago. In the meantime, I worked at Barnes & Noble's for the holiday, but they couldn't afford to keep any of us holiday hires on after, so back to the job hunting in earnest. But first, let's do an audit. Last year, in 2024, I struggled immensely. My word of the year was wings, and apparently, I used those wings to fly home. I'm back with my parents in California. Of my original 2024 goals, I achieved 8 of them, exactly 1/3. Many of these were predicated on having a job and the income associated with it. After January, I had to pivot. Of my original Q1 goals, I did 7.5 of them. That included a virtual 10K and half marathon through Run Disney, book everything for StokerCon in San Diego, and do a whole month of solid writing. Q2, I did 6 out of 9 goals. I babysat a ton for my sister, finished beta reading for JC, participated in poetry open mic night, went to StokerCon, pitched to a literary agent in person, applied to jobs, and employment insurance. I did not participate in Camp Nano. This was the year that the whole Nano organization imploded. I did not end up going to another writers' conference I wanted to go to, but that was okay. Q3, I achieved 9.5 out of 16 goals. That's 59%. I completed a walking challenge, submitted to a Canadian writing grant, read 10 books, went back to Canada to pick up my meds twice, ran a mile in under 16 minutes, which was amazing. It was 14 minutes flat. I went to Disneyland with Becca and my family and solo. I worked on catching up on taxes. But I fell short on exercise goals and submitting my revise and resubmit for Seeds of Doubt. I did not storyboard much and failed to stick to doing weigh-ins. I did get healthier, just not as much as I had hoped. Q4 was better. I completed 10 out of 14 goals. The 4 I did not achieve were writing 100K, being consistent at running, posting to YouTube, and reading 12 books. What I did do, however, was prep my new story, A Study in Demonology, finish and turn in my Seeds of Doubt revise and resubmit, pick up my meds in Toronto, officially move countries, get U.S. health insurance, complete another walking challenge, switch to a U.S. phone, finish catching up on U.S. taxes, and get a bookcase. In fact, I got 2 bookcases. And I got a job. I worked from mid-November through mid-January. So that's how 2024 went. Months of being there and helping out family through some major upheaval, bonding with my nieces and nephew, going to Legoland with them, drawing and writing stories with them, playing pretend with the older 2, and rocking the infant to sleep with a bottle. Many trips between Canada and the US to get meds and renew medical insurance. Finally finishing my R&R for my middle grade horror. Getting beta reader feedback on it before turning it over to the agent. Walking and running a couple of the months. Working in a bookstore. Of all my 52 goals, I achieved 33 of them. 63%. It was a hard and unexpected year, but it worked out in the end. Now, on to 2025. Even now, since the end of December, early January, I have been debating these goals. I'm waffling on my running goals. I wanted to do the Dopey Challenge in January 2026, where you run a 5K, 10K, half marathon, and full marathon in 4 consecutive days. I'm overwhelmed by these goals right now and entabling them, altering them. I would love to do the half marathon for Halloween instead. It feels like a good stepping stone and less all or nothing. One thing I've learned is goals should inspire, not overwhelm and stifle. Motivate you to grow, not stress you out so much you can't even look at them. In the book How to Keep House While Drowning by Casey Davis, they talk about making a runway, an on-ramp. Don't set the goal to wash every single dish in the kitchen. Make the goal to get to the kitchen and wash a single dish. If you do more, great, but that's not the point. And it's not a crime if you haven't done more than your goal. Goals for things like chores are morally neutral. You're not a bad person if your laundry piles up. Baby steps with the spoons you have. Be kind to yourself. I think this year I need to let myself feel my emotions more. Journal about them, and not just journal about what I do in the day. Yes, I made 30 goals for 2025 last month, but I think this year I'm going to let them go and have areas of focus instead. Health, creativity, and finances. I can audit myself and do a periodic check-in, seeing if I'm keeping up with doctor's appointments and taking my meds, if I'm thinking about stories and attending live write-ins, even if I get no words, but get inspired by prompts and conversations instead. And if I'm applying to jobs, or eventually, when I get one, saving money. So far this year, I've been making progress, updating my resume and applying to jobs, gathering my beta reader feedback for my vampire romance, and getting a general practitioner doctor who made the medical referrals I need. I have pill boxes for my meds so I can see if I took them or not now. It's the little things this year. Yes, I wanted this year to be a full-on transformation. But until my health is better managed, until I have income, and I accept myself as I am, I can't go for those huge, hard-hitting goals. And that's okay. I need to be okay with myself having weeks or months of not being okay enough to be in front of the camera to vlog. To not let it get to me so much that I don't even write or do the thing I wanted to vlog in the first place. It doesn't have to be documented for it to count as progress. I think my word of the year is self-love. Meeting myself where I am and being okay with the rate of growth I can achieve without feeling like I've let my future self down. My future self will be much better off if I make small, steady progress rather than an immediate flash that leads to burnout for many months and mental spirals. I can do this. You can do this. Together, we are going to thrive this year.